This is a beautiful day in Jerusalem. At the same time, it's very hard to imagine the challenges that Israel's facing on the borders with Egypt, with Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, with Hamas and the Palestinian government. But then again, we have the scriptures that point to the time that we're living in, when Israel will have challenges throughout the country and throughout the Middle East. We can look to Joel or Daniel, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Zechariah, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and the book of Revelation to fully understand the biblical significance of the times that we are living in. We know that Jerusalem is God's time clock. Isn't it interesting that the nation of Israel is the focus on the international community? Last year at the UN, when I was there in New York City, when the talk around the world was a Palestinian state being brought to the UN General Assembly, I spoke to friends of mine with international media groups and organizations that said the main talk in their states and countries the week prior to the UN meeting was Israel and Israel's land and whether there was going to be a declaration of a Palestinian state. Isn't it amazing that the God of Israel has allowed this tiny little nation to be the focus of the world? But then again, we know that God has a very distinctive plan for the nation of Israel. He has a redemptive plan for the nation of Israel and for the nations of the world coming from Jerusalem. And we are blessed to be living in the most important time in biblical history and very likely the generation that will see Yeshua's return here in Jerusalem. We hear over and over about Israel making these concessions to the Palestinians. But is anybody considering the danger that Israel would face if they gave up Judea, Samaria, and East Jerusalem? I don't hear this from anybody in the international community. I don't hear it from the United States, the European Union, the United Nations, or Russia. Moving Hamas, which is Iranian-backed, into Judea and Samaria and East Jerusalem would be national suicide. It's time for the nations of the world to be concerned about the future of the state of Israel.